Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I want to take you through some of the stuff that I've added to Strata 1.1. So let's take a look. So the first thing that I've added is a new generator, which is called the branching tunnel generator. Now, what we're doing here is we are generating one main, it's like the Wander tunnel, which was in the original release of Strata, but then it has this capacity to generate branches, right? So here, I think this is a 100 by 100 grid. And you can see the branches terminate in these little square rooms. Here's one, right? That's a good example. And one of the other changes that I've made here is you notice that we're getting like these more noisy kind of patterns, more organic kind of patterns. So I've added let's unmaximize. I've added a parameter both to the tunnel brancher and to the Wander tunnel, which is a turn noise value. So this is how often is it going to flip back and forth between trying to move horizontally and vertically. If we set this to 0, this is running in 18.3. I still shipped on 17.2, so anybody using an older version can use it, but I upgraded this one to 18.3 beta 1, and it's working great. And I'm using the Pixel Perfect camera, you can see, to get rid of the artifacts, so that's kind of nice. Okay, so now only the branches are doing the more noisy tunnels, so we can see we've kind of squared away the main tunnel. The main tunnel is also 2 units wide, which is why it's fatter. But so being able to add that noise, here we could try add maybe just like a little bit, like 25%. I think we were on 50 before. Being able to add that noise to the movement does give us these nice organic shapes. So this is just using a flood fill, right, which is just filling the thing with walls and then digging out using one tunnel brancher, which has, if we look at it, a slot for this Wander tunnel that we add in, and then that is actually the thing that branches off. So it's like a generator within a generator, and that's something that I'm looking to explore more. It's like generators that hold collections of generators. Okay, so the next one that we're going to look at is the replacement for room chain, which is room sequence. Room chain was having some issues in terms of not reaching its desired length, and this behaves a lot better in that way. So let's find one that's like really easy to see, where we can just really clearly see what's happening. Okay, so here, right, this is our start room, and then we're traversing down here. These are just room templates that have like holes in them and stuff. We're going down here, we're going up, and we're going up to here, and here's the exit room, right? So now you can specify a start room, put your player in there, specify an exit room, put your exit in there, and predict things a little bit better that way. It's not throwing up any really short chains. So it has a minimum chain. Here it's kind of clumped up, but it still manages to get the minimum number, which in this case I think is 10. The target for it is 10. And then we also have room tiler. We should be able to see. Okay, yeah. So, whoa, look at that. Let's actually turn down the growth iterations a little bit. Let me set it to just like 1 so we can see what it's doing. So what we can see here is 1 just means it takes the start room and it grows a room off each available exit. If we set it to 2, we can see it's going to do that twice, right? So each one of these 4 rooms grows out as well, right? And these should all be connected. This is using a lot of 4-sided rooms. Basically what it'll do is it'll grow, and then if it tries to grow into a room that doesn't have a connection, it will stop. And so let's go for like a high number of growth iterations, and then like 5 growth iterations probably can fill the map. Or almost, yeah. So there, that one you could see. Let's get one that, yeah. So here you can see, right? It hit here. These guys can't grow anymore because they don't have a door, so it doesn't grow that way, right? But it wants to kind of spread out and make these huge things with a high number of iterations. But yeah, in this case, we got blocked here and got blocked here. Now, this looks cool, right? It's like a giant kind of ziggurat thing, and there should always be passages. In this case, you could put something interesting in the middle and put the player outside, and they got to find their way in. But then to make it a little more irregular, if you set the chance to continue growing to below 100, some of those branches will just fail to happen even though they have doors. So then you get these other kind of shapes, like here it just failed to branch that way. And you get some shapes that are like more, obviously shorter, and also more irregular, right? So it's like a room chain, but it's expanding in multiple directions. If we put it to like 70, probably get some like kind of interesting stuff. Yeah, some cool shapes that look kind of like buildings or ruins or whatever. So that is the room tiler. The other thing that I added, I've shown this on YouTube before, but I put it in, is the cube world example, and it's got all its own files and stuff if you want to play around with it. Pretty much a copy of the mini rogue generation example, but just instead of instantiating Tilemap data, it's instantiating this little bit of cellular automata and the maze out of cubes, right? And these are all just stacked up cubes, and you can play around with that if you're curious. So yeah, thanks for checking it out. That is Strata 1.1. I also fixed some other bugs, and there's some release notes in the PDF down here with a couple other little details. But those are the main changes, which I think are going to be pretty good. So I would love to hear your feedback if you're using it, or if you have any questions or comments. Please leave them in the comments below. And if you have a chance to like and subscribe, that's helpful as well. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.